You know how I do long distance. Why do I say long distance swimming? Why don't I just say ocean swimming? I'm showing
How
off.
long do you swim for?
About half an hour.
Yeah, that's kind of long distance, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and then we go for anything from like 800 to 1.5.
I thought you were going to say then we go for a lunch or a beer or something.
Well, sometimes we do.
Yeah.
But my brother brings down a makeshift shower.
Well, that's right. He's got the outside shower.
He hangs it off the back of his car, and it's an old paint tin, I think, and we hop underneath that. Anyway, he wasn't there this day, and I was going to go by myself, and I bought a new wetsuit, which is like a special triathlon wetsuit. It's got different bits of rubber on it, different thicknesses, because you've got a wetsuit, which is probably, I think, like 3 mil.
Yeah.
Mine's got 1.5 on the shoulders, 4 mil in the body, and 2 mil downstairs.
I didn't even know they had different thicknesses.
Well, they do because you've got to be able, with surfing they do too. Yeah, they do. They do. Anyway, so I'm putting on my brand new wetsuit. I'm in between 2 cars, so I don't get seen.
Yeah.
Right?
The classic.
Yep. And I don't wear...
Did you open the car door?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Open the car door, and my problem is, one, I have a sore back, so it's hard for me to bend over and pull them on. 2, I don't wear Speedos underneath, so
You're fully nude.
I'm out there.
You're free balling.
I'm loving every minute of it.
Yeah.
So sometimes when I get down in the part where the wetsuit's coming off, I'm in a quite compromising position, right? Because you can see my bits if you're in the right position.
Yeah.
So I'm in that position, pulling it down, and then I hear someone say, "Hey," laughing. "Hey, I can see your dick."
Is that what they said?
Yeah. Well, let me finish. You go, "Hey, I can see your dick," and I go, "Oh no! What? How? Well, one, I'm between 2 cars and behind a car door. Someone's gone, I can see your dick. And 2, it was surprising because people don't say dick anymore.
No, it's a weird one.
People say...
Old guy?
Yeah, he was old.
Yeah.
But what do you normally say? Knob, you say...
penis.
Balls, you can... Penis.
I can see your penis.
Yeah.
That's the
PC,
anatomically correct.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't say that.
Dick. That's quite harsh.
You don't say... I mean, years ago they'd say dick. Anyway, so I'm there going, quickly trying to get it off so you can't see my dick. And then he says it again. And this time he says, "Hey, I thought you were sick." So I've completely...
You've heard him wrong.
I mean, I guess when you are naked, it's an easy bridge to climb to go, he didn't say sick, he said dick. But anyway... it was very embarrassing.
And was it one of the other swimmers?
Yeah, they were just talking over the other side of the car park.
Oh.
Yeah. I made it all about me.
It's interesting, isn't it? That's how memories can be wrong. You know, and hearing stuff can be wrong.
That's right. Like in the court case and stuff. I definitely heard that. This is what definitely happened.
Yeah, that's right. And it changes over time, I reckon.
Do you put your wetsuit on at home and walk down to the beach, or you put it on at the beach?
No, I put it on always at home because it's quite hard.
No, it's really hard.
Yeah, I get one of the kids to zip me up.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Because I can't do it.
You can't get it. Have you got a long thing on it?
Yeah, but I can't do it. And then getting it off too. But I've started to go and not wear a wetsuit sometimes, which is great.
That is the best way to do it.
Yeah, but then someone again said, and then, again I'm going to use the D word. They said, "Oh yeah, but then are you a boogie boarder?" I went, "Yeah." And then they said, "Oh, so you're a dick scraper."
I've never heard that.
Have you heard that?
No.
I said, what is it? And it's true, because when you come off the boogie board, you scrape along the ground.
Oh, if you catch it right into the shallows.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Oh, you scrape it in the sand. I agree. I've had to sort of get into a... Do you know that when Russell Coight, showbiz story, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
When Russell Coight did a life-saving thing, when they the joke was I went into the water with as a lifesaver with a thing around my waist, and I didn't put it on properly, and they pulled me in, and it pulled down, and it pulled my underpants down at the same time, wrapped around my ankles, which meant they were dragging me up the beach in the nude with my penis, along the ground. And I was screaming like I was in pain. No, but I was in pain.
Yeah, it's painful.
And then...
And they'd be like
burly
lifesavers.
Yeah, I mean, I realise we have women listeners as well. So it is when your penis is being rubbed on the sand. It's not pleasant.
It's not pleasant.
It's not pleasant.
It's not pleasant.
And and I'm sure it wouldn't be pleasant if they were rubbing their.
But yeah, on the sand as well. We don't know.
Yeah.
But we assume so.
But anyway, we cover all the big issues on this program. Anyway, so there you have it. If someone abuses you, make sure that you put your hearing aids on. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Well, there's been a lot of swearing already. And there's the phone.
We're at the pub. So, are you going to answer that?
I'll go get that. Play the music.
While the music's on.
Grandview Hotel, can I help you? No. Glenn Robbins isn't playing tonight. Okay, thank you. Oh, here comes the music.
Welcome to Somehow Related Now. Please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Well, there we are. Anyway, welcome to the podcast. We got two topics. We've got to work out how they're related. Should we just get the topics?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Because we've already sworn a lot in this. Quite,
Have we sworn a lot?
No, not sworn. You stick.
I was reluctant to tell that story because for that very reason.
But they put a warning at the start. Don't worry.
But Dick's not swearing.
No,
Is it the fact that I'm referring to my penis for all the little kids out there?
No, I don't think there's little kids listening. But that's anatomically correct to say penis or vagina. Yeah. As my son told me he was in grade 2 when they came home and said, "You can't, Dad. You've got to use these words from now on: penis or vagina." So I said, "Massive schlong out." Oh, God, Sam, help us, quick. What are the topics?
Dim Sims and the Australian Gold Rush.
Oh, wow. Well, two of my favourite things, I have to say. I love Dim Sims.
Well, you'd have to say that, yeah.
And I love the Gold Rush era. I've often said, you've asked me on this podcast, what era would you go back to? Or maybe someone else asked me.
I know someone else did.
Yeah, maybe Kieran and the kids did. We talked about that kind of stuff. What era would you go back to? I said the Gold Rush.
Be pretty smelly.
Yeah, I know that, but you're only there for a day. I don't want to stay.
Oh, yeah.
What era would you go back to? Because the kids, some of them said Egypt or, the kind of the cavemen or...
Oh, I go back to 2015. Before COVID, and I'd celebrate our life, give it a few years without it and go, hey, guys, something big's coming.
Yeah.
And enjoy this because, it's going to be a bit tougher down the road. And I'd be the Messiah. I would,
Sure, and that's a good idea. Or would you go to the future? Would you go to the future or the past, if you could?
I kind of know what's future for me.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Cut to you at your gravestone.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, the Gold Rush, always fascinated by the Gold Rush.
Well, you did
Australian history.
What did you get in year 12?
A. You got an A in Australian history. Yeah, I loved Australian history, and the Gold Rush, that was a big part of it, I believe. And I can't remember much. All I remember, we went to Sovereign Hill, the Great Sovereign Hill, and then they show little films and stuff in some places.
Yeah.
Like you sit down and they go, come in for the Sovereign Hill experience. And then you just go and sit in like a little cinema, and they showed a film. It's really interesting. It was about the Chinese in the Gold Rush.
Wow,
must be a connection here.
Yes.
And what I can remember from that is that a lot of the Chinese docked in Melbourne, but they got taxed. They got hit with a tax straight away, and then they walk to Ballarat. But the smart ones docked in Adelaide where there were no tax and then walked to Ballarat from Adelaide.
Oh, that is interesting.
From Adelaide.
Yeah.
That's a long way. From Adelaide. And then what else did we learn in this documentary that I saw? Yeah, people picked on them, but they were entrepreneurial, the Chinese. They ran shops and stuff.
Who were the majority of people at the Gold Rush? Were they? A lot of them were convicts and was there a Gold Rush only in Victoria? Was there one in New South Wales?
Yeah, absolutely. There's one in New South Wales because when I did the movie The Nugget.
Oh, that's good. I was going to say one of the great
Australian
gold nugget-based film of all
one of the only.
Yeah, I mean, surely you should win a golden statue for that golden.
Anyway, when we were there, we went to Hill. I drove around. Kieran came up and because it was like for 10 weeks the filming of that movie, and that's all gold around there in Mudgee. That was in Mudgee, sorry, over the Blue Mountains, Mudgee, Bathurst, around that area.
Is it similar sort of geography? Not geography. What do you call it? Soil to New South Wales to around Ballarat.
And I went to where the biggest gold nugget was found was in what's it called? Hillside or something. It's like about an hour from Mudgee.
So they have the record.
Yeah. That was
better than the Victorian.
Victoria, one of the biggest ones, was found in Warrandyte, which is interesting. But the gold rush was worldwide. It was also in America, of course, in San Francisco. It was California was a huge gold rush area.
So have we run out of gold?
No, it's still out there.
There's gold mining in Australia.
Oh, they're Kalgoorlie.
Yep, of course.
I sat next to this guy on a plane, and he goes, he was an Aboriginal guy. He was really interesting, and he goes, anyway, I can't remember. He worked for mining companies, and he goes, my brother's got this really interesting job. He's a security guard. They've found all this gold in this field, right? Yeah. And he said his job is just to guard it at night because word's getting around. There's people jumping the fence.
Oh, really? Fantastic.
I said, wouldn't you just put some in your pockets? And he goes, no, they search you as you leave the site, which is quite common in gold mines and gold sites. They search you. Yeah.
Or they should just, here, put these pants on. They've got no pockets.
Yeah. Oh, I bet you they do. I wonder if they do that.
They do that in the mint.
Oh, yeah. Or what about if you're on the site with all the gold, just chuck it over the fence? I'm sure they've all thought of this.
I just wonder what the ruling is. Who owns it? If it's on your property, you own it, yeah?
Yeah, if you find gold, yeah, I think so. I know with artifacts, you don't own it.
No, right.
If you find like an artifact, whether it's Aboriginal or whatever, Vikings maybe, you don't own it. You've got to give it in.
So the gold rush had all those problems with the licensing, didn't they? There was the rebellion. That's what the Eureka Stockade, and which of course is still respected and not celebrated, but referred to in Peter Lawler.
Peter Lawler, who became a parliamentarian and lost his leg or his arm.
Really?
Yeah, he lost his leg. I think it was in the, and they smuggled him out. Oh. Yeah.
What can we say? What else can we say?
Well,
did people travel into that? I think California had a gold rush.
Yeah, California had a big gold rush.
Because there was that Paint Your Wagon. That was a great musical about that.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
And there were a lot of Chinese went to California too.
I think the Chinese, I think that the Chinese were off, weren't they? And there would be strong roots in the Chinese community here from the gold rush.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, in Ballarat, some of the people Chinese that live in Ballarat are from that era.
Isn't that fantastic?
And some of the restaurants that were set up are still there from that era too.
Yeah, I wonder if number 7 back then is still a number 7 now.
Beef and black bean sauce. You know who I saw at a favourite burger joint? Because we had a week off the podcast.
Yeah, you went there at burger by yourself.
I went there. Well, the kids like it too.
Yeah.
And so...
should we give them a plug?
Calzo's in...
Gee, it's good.
It's good. It's in...
we share a burger.
Abbotsford.
That's still manly to do. That's sharing a... What do we share? A chopped
cheese, no jalapenos, pickles.
It's not a round bun. It's a long bun that we cut in half.
The guy said, we call this now the Dave O'Neill, this combination. No. And then, as Kieran said, why aren't they calling it the Glenn Robbins? He's more famous than you.
No, not at all. And surely that's come from he and I, you and I, sitting out the front and chat. We're people of the people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, we've met heaps of people there.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was there the other day, and John Saffron walked past.
Oh, he's a great man.
The great man, John Saffron, and he was going to the regular shop next door. I told him burgers, mate. Get a burger.
You do a good impression of him.
John Saffron, yeah. He came up, he said hello. I used to do radio with him. I did the impression to his face, don't worry. They thought, what are you doing? You're getting a hamburger, are you? Anyway, I said, what are you doing? What have you been? He said, I thought of you yesterday. I was in Sovereign Hill. Because he obviously knows I like the pies and stuff.
What do you mean you were in Sovereign Hill?
John Saffron was in Sovereign Hill, not me.
Oh, right.
He goes, I thought of you yesterday. I was in Sovereign Hill.
Oh, okay, right.
So I have to do his voice the whole time. And anyway, he said he's been doing something for SBS. I don't want to, maybe I'm not meant to say it, but I will. But he's been researching 25% of shops in the gold rush were owned by Jewish people. He's been researching Jewish people in the gold rush. How interesting is that? Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that either. We always think Chinese, Aussie, Irish, English. But yeah, there was quite a big percentage of Jewish people involved in the gold rush. There we go. Okay, we're learning stuff.
That's fascinating. So that's his next project. That'd be good.
It's on SBS, coming up soon.
Well, so...
I think we've done the gold rush.
I think we have.
Yeah.
But what happened in the end of the whole thing? Did they get their way? Did they get not?
No, some people made a lot of money,
meaning with the Eureka Stockade.
Eventually they got. I think it was like a stalemate, and nothing really happened for a while, didn't it? We don't. I don't actually know.
And the gold went away, and then everyone went home.
Yeah.
Oh, oh no.
That's John Saffron ringing. What are you doing? Don't tell everyone. You're an idiot, O'Neill. I thought you had a hamburger shop and you're telling everyone about my show. All right. Well, we should talk about dim sims.
Oh.
Dim sims, yum. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yum.
I remember hey, here you go. First time you had a dim sim.
I can't remember, but we used to get them as kids. We had a Chinese takeaway near us, which did good dim sims, and then they started selling them at the fish and chip shop. But that was
how did it make the bridge from being a Chinese food only? How did it go? Suddenly, it was on the menu. It's because it's a contrasting world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dim sim.
Yeah.
In the fish and chip world, surely that's got to go back. It has some history in it.
Oh, you know what we could play as thinking music now that I think about it? The movie I wrote with Mark O'Toole called Takeaway.
Yeah.
We had a scene at the start about how fish and chips started, and the dim sims is.
I'd love to hear that.
It's Francis Greenslade and Nicholas Bell.
Yes.
So Francis Greenslade is the innkeeper, and Nicholas Bell is the traveller, and he comes in and he goes, "Good man, I want some," and he goes. And Francis Greenslade says, "There's no room in the inn. You'll have to. We can't have room for your fish and chips." And he goes, "I will take the fish and chips away." And he goes, "And what are they?" And he points. They're dim sims from the Orient or something.
So do you reckon we can use that scene?
Yeah, of
if
course.
you can't, nobody can.
No, it's on YouTube. I've seen it. Yeah. Anyway, dim sims.
Fried or steamed?
Yeah,
you're a steamed
steamed.
guy. Let's just go with the obvious ones. Do you like them how do you like them? Because you know what I get annoyed with? You get them in a bag, and the dim sim. What is the dim sim coating? Is it like
it's pastry?
It gets stuck to the bag.
No, I hate that.
Is that where the sauce will stop that happening?
Yeah, you'd reckon. You're right. It's like a lubricant.
Yeah.
Yes.
So your dim sim slides easy out of your bag with a little bit of lubricant.
Oh, yum.
That's a good tip for anybody because if with no lubricant, you can leave a lot of that in the bag, and I don't like to go through the bag and pick that out. No.
Now you've told me before that you eat dim sims on a plate.
Well, we do
at the golf club.
At the golf club. Jeez, I'm a wanker. But no, but these are South Melbourne dim sims.
They're big.
Yeah.
So, we've talked about them before. Anyone around in the world, they're like big dim sims. I'm sure there's other versions like it in Sydney or Adelaide. But
big as your fist.
They are beautiful.
Yeah.
They are beautiful.
But
you know whose photo's on the wall down there? Sam Pang. Sam Pang, for all these, talk of...
I played golf with him the other day, and we had South Melbourne dim sims after the game. He tells some really good stories about dim sims.
Oh, we should call him.
We should call him.
Now,
okay.
what end do we did this as a Nova phone
poll.
Yeah, what end do you
start
first?
with?
If you got a fried one, so you'd be steamed, but when you have a fried one occasionally...
What do you mean you'd be steamed?
I just reckon you're healthy, you'd be steamed.
So if someone walked past this hotel...
I could pick what they'd be.
You could pick... Okay.
See that woman in the car over there with a little kid?
Oh,
she's steamed. In fact, I don't even reckon she'd eat a dim sim. I don't reckon she's too skinny.
She might be a shumai lady.
Yeah, shumai. What's shumai?
Shumai's the ones you have at finger food.
Okay.
They're like the ones you get at Yum. You'd be a Yum Cha.
Yeah, like dim sum, which is like
dim sum,
little dumpling things. Yum.
You're right. I am
steamed.
A steamed guy. I like the softness. I just find the contrast between the hardness of the frying with the softness.
Well, what end are you? We did a poll on Nova. What end are you? Are you the craggly end or the round end?
I'm the round end.
You round end first?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, because then you're going to finish with the crusty bit. Yeah.
I think I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think I'm with you.
Yeah, it's a very good question.
I think dim sims were developed by obviously they're from the dim sum, which is like a dumpling, but I think there was an Australian Chinese woman who developed them here.
Well, that's probably what the answer is. Okay, the dim sims, how many bites?
Ooh, like on a normal standard one?
Yeah.
I'm just doing 2.
2?
Hang on, standard one.
It's your first bite. No, yeah.
Maybe 3.
Yeah, I'm thinking 3.
Yeah.
And was the shumai is 1 bite.
Oh, yeah, they're little, aren't they?
Yeah, and like a...
South Melbourne dim sims about 5 or 6.
Well, this is why you eat it with a knife and fork.
God.
I can't... picking it up, it's going to burn your fingers.
Yeah, I like all that.
Look, don't knock it until you've tried it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. My son does that. One of my kids cuts it up like a stew when he gets dim sims in a bowl.
What's the recipe?
Well,
Be minced pork, wouldn't it?
I noticed on the South Melbourne Market dim sims on the packet it says pork or beef. It's like, make your mind up. Normally they're pork.
So I'm
cabbage,
onion,
onion,
seasoning,
maybe a bit of carrot, maybe.
Yeah.
Yum.
You know what they do at the golf club? I hate talking about it. They cut them in half and fry them on the.
Oh,
have you had that?
Peter Halley does that.
He does it at home, does he?
Yeah, because I went to a deli to buy them once, and the woman said, "Oh, you're a comedian. You know who else buys these?" I'm like, "Who? Peter Hellier." I said, oh, yeah, I know Pete.
So
yeah.
are they
He
fried?
looks like a dim sim eater.
He looks like what would be in a sitting? One sitting? 4?
Yeah, I reckon. But she said, he fries them on the barbecue. I'm like, oh.
But that would be a fried one or would it be a steamed one?
Well, no. I think they're frying them from frozen, aren't they? Or
So they're frying them and then cutting them in half?
Yeah.
Or are they going from the... Are they? Let's just say it's a cold dim sim out of the fridge, not frozen.
Not frozen.
Could you put it on the barbecue?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a big barbecuer, but yeah, I believe you could. I believe that is what Pete's doing. Should we bring him too?
Bring him as well. Well, okay.
Let's ring Pang. Will he be offended? Because I'm only... He's half Chinese, though. It's, it's a Chinese dish.
If it goes wrong, I'm blaming you.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
That's exciting. You've got his actual number.
You've got his number. Don't pretend.
Yeah, I know.
Anyone get his number? I'll send it to you if you want it, everyone.
Just put it up on the Facebook.
Yeah, put it on Facebook. He'd love it.
Yeah.
He's a man of the people.
He is a man of the people. But we have to tell him that we are... Oh, no, he's not answering. He's got a life.
No, he'll answer. He often answers after a lot of rings, I've noticed. Pang.
Must tell him...
Hello?
Hello,
yeah.
is that Sam Pang?
You're right. Don't say anything inappropriate because you're on our podcast, and I know what normally happens when you pick up the phone. You know it's Dave and Glenn. You sort of let go with a tirade of abuse, and we just don't want you to be painted like that in the public. You're on our podcast that you know and love, and we know and love you, and we've rung you. I'll shut up in a minute about something.
I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to disarm me and just flower me with some compliments so that you're kind of like with nowhere to go and mean to you. It'll just like, wow, that seems unnecessary.
Well,
but seriously, why are you ringing me?
Well, we just say hello. Just catch up.
Wow.
No, tell him. This is really interesting.
You've been on our podcast. We get 2 topics, and the topics this week's is Gold Rush and Dim Sims. And we thought, who do we know that's an expert on the Gold Rush?
Did you hear that? Yeah, Gold Rush and Dim Sims. What category do you fall into?
We thought Dim Sims because you're half Chinese.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I've seen your photo. As I was saying, I've seen your photo at the South Melbourne Market on the wall. My photo's not up there, and I've probably bought more dim sims off that guy than you by the size of me.
I'm pretty sure his name we're referring to. I think it's Eddie or Ernie. Eddie, maybe Eddie. Eddie from South Melbourne Dim Sims, which
you got a dog,
John Brown.
You were learning stuff about Sam. He's got a dog. I didn't know he had a dog.
So much about,
He never talks about his dog.
Put that in your stand-up. Sorry, no, come on. Let's talk about Eric. Aaron, what's his name?
Don't talk about my dog. It's not real. I don't have a great... I will confess to you too. Don't have a close relationship with it, if you know what I mean. One of those decisions that I...
Yeah, we're involved with.
I felt I was kind of a part of, but I'm not. But in the end, I think it was like a royal commission. I think the answers were already known before the questions were asked.
Yes, I know. We got a kitten recently. I know about that.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit of pressure to get a dog. There's that new show on TV where they they give away the dogs and they get the people come in and they film them and
Tony,
stuff. Yeah. And then my partner goes, I want a dog, and I'm going, yeah. Cut to 3 weeks later, me standing there with a bag of hot shit in my pocket.
Anyway, speaking of dim sims, hot shit in the bag.
I got asked to do. Is there a celebrity dog show?
Yeah.
Was there a show about dogs? Yeah. And at the time, I didn't have a dog.
Yeah, I did that.
I told them that, and they said that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I did that. Remember?
I would have thought the minimum requirement was that I had to have a dog.
I did that show, and you had to go to someone's house and pretend it was your house, and then they go, "All right, Dave, give us 2 minutes on Cocker Spaniels." I've never had a dog. So I tell you what, I learned a lot about dogs doing that show, I have to say. The top 10 dogs, it was called.
Anyway.
Can
we go give it...
Oh, he's hung up.
He was breaking up a little bit there, so we'll try and get him back. Understandably. He's going to have had enough of this. And we'll get him back. He'll be loving this. It really is Sam Pang, isn't it? It's not someone putting on a voice. It is really him.
We can tell it's him. It's him with his... I didn't know he had a dog.
Is it ringing?
Look, it will ring eventually.
Oh, has he got some sort of... Oh, you know what has happened?
What's happened? He's just turned his phone off, I reckon.
We ran out of battery.
Oh, I ran out of battery. We'll
try
him again?
Try him one more time.
Okay, all right. He's got my number. He can always ring back.
Is he ringing you?
No,
Oh, now we're right.
That's a belated birthday.
Yeah.
Feels as though the head of podcasting listened to that intro and said, "We're not doing. Let's start again."
G'day, Sam. It's Glenn and Dave from Somehow Related. Great to talk to you, mate.
We
Yeah.
think.
Hey, Glenn. Hey, Dave. Big fans. Thanks for having me on.
What now? What do you know about Dim Sims, Eddie?
What do I know about him? That guy, Eddie, he told us that he's put his kids through private school with dim sim money.
Yep.
It's incredible. Imagine that being.
Yep.
I've actually met one of those grandkids, and he works at the They have a shop in Melbourne Central, and they always wanted his kids. So I don't know if the private school worked out. He's just working back in the shop. Like, wouldn't you hope they become a lawyer or?
But if you're well, I don't know, dim sim money. Dim sim money. If you're an impresario, if you're a dim sim mogul.
It's true, but I reckon the dad probably made that kid go and do a law degree and then come back and just, okay, you're taking over the business.
Yeah, well, what do I know about dim sims? Well,
Construction in the background.
No, we've got a chef. We've got a chef banging at something.
Oh,
I think it's a chef banging something.
We're at a.
We're in the pub at the Grandview.
Yeah.
Pang loves this pub.
Are you really at the Grand?
Yeah, our studio's been demolished or something. We don't.
So
know.
I could have just popped down.
What do you know about
could
dim
have
sims?
popped down.
Can you help us with our journey?
Well, what do I know?
What's your choice? What
Delicious.
would be your choice?
Yeah.
Dave, when he has a South Melbourne, has two in one sitting.
Steamed
In one sitting. Are you a one or a two guy?
Glenn, I'm a bit ashamed to say that if I'm just having dim sims as a meal, because they're pretty having South Melbourne dim sims as a meal, I would have to say 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Well, if you think about, but if you equate that to sitting down to having a meal, what's the difference? If you had put, in terms of the amount of food on your plate, 4 or 5 dim sims versus, I don't know, a Parmesan or something.
True.
It's still
true.
under.
I had 2 yesterday. Actually, it was my birthday yesterday.
Oh, was it?
Thanks for your card.
Oh.
Thanks for the flowers.
Oh my God, Glenn, didn't you know it was his
didn't know it was
birthday?
his
I knew it
birthday.
was his birthday. I knew it was his birthday, but just decided not to contact him to wish him happy birthday. That's different. You didn't even know.
No, well, I don't tell anyone. But I got
Dim sims as a gift.
I bought them myself. They sell them at the local shop.
Yeah.
Did Glenn say you got dim sims as a gift?
Oh, well, because they wouldn't have been hot. They would have been like,
Frozen.
Yeah, frozen. Yeah.
They were the chicken ones that he makes, and they were still very good, I have to say.
I didn't know there was a chicken version.
Yeah, there's chicken.
Oh.
Do a chicken version. Do you two? I'm sure you're partial to a yum cha.
Yes.
Yeah, not really.
Oh no, love a yum
Oh
cha.
no, exactly.
Seriously.
Then again, it's just like
Dad,
someone
like
bring
it.
around trolleys of fried food.
Yeah, but there are options in there that you wouldn't consider yourself, and then when you see them, you go, "Oh, I do want one of those."
Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
Glenn. See, a cultured man
Yeah.
who appreciates
Yeah.
a sophisticated cuisine that's been fine tuned over thousands of years. But the thing is, if you are looking, it's very hard to find dim sims on a traditional yum cha.
It
So
is.
my little tip is the closest thing is called a shoo mai. So if they come around and they offer you a shoo mai, it's a dumpling. It's still technically a dumpling, but it's very close to.
Oh,
a dim sim
okay.
in terms
A
of
shumai.
size,
A
Okay,
shumai.
shoo mai.
As a child, did you eat a lot of dim sims, or culturally?
Yeah,
He's already said he eats 5 in a city.
I remember the first drive-in I ever went to was in a restaurant. So we were really the acoustic wasn't exactly what I thought, but we used to eat a lot of dim sims, and also pork buns were big in our family. Once again, I'm giving a lot away about myself, which I don't really.
When
like.
would you have a pork bun for breakfast, or what? When would it be in your play lunch when you went to school? Would there be a pork bun in there?
No, I didn't. We didn't. We were doing our best to assimilate, Glenn. That would have really drawn attention to ourselves. So we used to keep the Chinese food to when we were at home.
Yeah, nice. And did Dad? Because your dad's Chinese, but your mum's not. So did she have to learn the ways?
No.
Like learn.
Yeah, she did. She learnt the ways. She learnt them very well, and it was great because I remember we would sometimes have. I can't believe I'm saying- we would sometimes have. You know, you people have what do you have, cereal and stuff like that. We would sometimes have fried rice for breakfast, and then
There you go.
Oh,
yum. Don't get better than that.
Yum.
Yeah. With chopsticks or with a spoon?
well, both, Glennie, both. As in, the
options.
the sticks are in the right hand.
I just find fried rice and chopsticks do not work
No,
together.
that's why you have one of those. You have a Chinese soup spoon that you kind of delicately place the rice into the spoon if you want. Yeah, man, it's It's a classier way of doing it, as opposed to with the Dave O'Neill who just pours it over his body and then just
No, but there's that other way that you folk do it, where you lift the plate up and you just use the chopsticks and you flick them, flick, 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 flick.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Well, we tried not to do that. We're trying to. It's not. Okay. It's not overly. Yeah, that's not a. It's a bit messy that way. It's not overly.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's. Wow, how's the podcast going? Good. Glennie White, can I ask
Look, we would have gone to a song if we were on radio, but that's all right.
Glennie White?
We'd have busted out some Dire Straits by now. But anyway, go on.
Okay, we should let you get back to your dog.
Yeah,
really?
He wants to ask you a question.
Yeah. My question is, I get it. I get O'Neill just, kind of desperately trying to cling on to some sort of relevance. But why are you doing this podcast? Why do you do it? You're an icon.
Because I do it for the people. I do it for the people. I don't just do it for some financial gain, and I don't care that we don't get paid. I know you are on a substantial amount of money. Everything you do. I mean, is he charging us for this today?
Probably. It'll be an invoice, I reckon, after this.
I do it for the people, for the love of my and Dave's people. With you, you're on your little. You've got a number of TV shows.
He's a money earner. He's a money spinner, Sam. He's he's not the voice of Ladbrokes like I am. But
what about that? Glenn, what do you think about that? You're working with the voice of Ladbrokes.
We often have dinner.
Ladbrokes.
And when I'm eating my dinner, I will stop and turn to the screen and listen to the dulcet tones of one Dave O'Neill, Ladbroke, and I love it. I think he's the man of the people. He is a voice of the people.
There's double bets and everything available, mate. I don't even know what they are.
You're both frauds. You both claim to be men of the people, and you don't like people.
I reckon when he does the ads, though, I reckon the people turn up and they go, well, look, we can pay you $3,000 or whatever you get paid for it, or we can put it all on race 6. Then it won't be declared. And if it comes up, you're going to make, $15,000. So what do you want to do, Dave?
Yeah, I'd go race 6 every time. Every time.
Yeah.
I would love nothing more than how long's your relationship with Ladbrokes, do you reckon?
I signed a contract for a year. Yeah.
Yeah. I would love if you ended up with a crippling gambling addiction by the end of
it. As I say at the end of every ad, I say gamble responsibly, and I think that helps.
Yeah, no, it's the saver.
1-800-858-58. Gamble responsibly. Leave before you lose. That's it.
You're good at the fast talk stuff. I like that. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Written and spoken by Sam Pang.
I get worried. I can't hear the dog. I'm worried what he might have done to it.
The dog.
The dog's
have you ever done any voiceover work, Glenn?
Oh, no, I'm not great at it, as Dave will be testament to, because I'm a rotten reader. I just, and I put on a radio. See, Dave's good.
I just do the normal voice.
Whereas I tend to do a little bit of that. And
just
get a little bit, you don't know. That's Russell Coit. That's what he does.
You don't do it, Sam, do you? You don't do voiceovers? I've never heard
I don't do voiceovers. I've got no commercial relationships at all, but I'm starting to think that I should be open to them. I could be an ambassador for, I don't know.
South Melbourne Dim Sims.
It's one thing you haven't got, sincerity, and so therefore you can't do it. At some point, there's got to be a little crack that shows through some sincerity.
What if I became the spokesperson for a product that deals with erectile dysfunction, and it's
that'd be
called
awesome.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Triple M. We should finish on that.
There's the dog.
And there's the dog, Mark. The dog agreed. Oh my God. If we had music, we can't play music. We go to the break.
Why are you
getting me on this of the Mickey Mouse version? I like the live. I did a live version of these. It was much more fun. I didn't have to talk to you two. You just talk to the crowd. It was great.
We'll come back and do one, but we haven't done one for years.
We haven't done one for a while.
Yeah.
When we saw Dim Sim, we just went Sam Pang.
I get it. So, I know you two would have to be careful during COVID, especially, you're right in that wheelhouse, you two. Make sure you're careful or you don't get it.
You'll be bad. If we die from it, you're going to feel really bad saying that. Will you speak at our funerals? Would you get up? Do you reckon you know me well enough to speak at my funeral? What happened at Bert's funeral? Tell the people what happened at Bert's funeral. Tell the people.
What he was sitting in front of you? I think I've heard it. No, what happened?
I don't know. Well, somehow I got an invite to Bert's funeral, right? I was very hesitant to go. But a mutual friend of ours, Jane Kennedy, said, no, Patty really would like you to come because Bert was a big fan, and she doesn't want it's a state funeral. She doesn't want just politicians there. She wants people that Bert liked. So I go, okay, cool. I'd never met Bert. No, I've met him once. Anyway, I was, there nice and early, do you know what I mean, out of respect, and as opposed to Glenn with his rock star, entrance. He rolled up fashionably late, do you know what I mean? Like, I think Bert was already in, Bert, he came in after Bert. So, which is a fair effort. And then I said, what did he, that's right. Glenn did the whole, hello, Sam, because it's hard in the church. You got to be quite, lower your voice and respectful. And then, after we'd kind of finished with his small talk, he kind of said, I've got to go further into the church because, my seat's closer to the front.
More important to Bert the closer you get.
Funeral,
yeah.
and I'm going, oh, that's really classy from you, which I don't know. I can't remember what I said, Glenn. Do you remember what I said?
You said the older ones are closer because they're more likely to go before. It goes in order of death.
Yeah, they
Is that right?
Yeah, because you were getting all smart how you had better seats than me at Bert's funeral. I'm going, mate, don't get too excited.
Yeah.
They're actually seeing them in terms of who is most likely to be in the box next. So, mate.
See, there you go. That's why you get the big dollars. That's why you said it much better than me. But can I tell you, two things happened. I was sitting there next to, I looked, because they had, your names are on the seats.
Oh.
And I looked to the left and I didn't have my glasses on. I think that's Mick Malloy. So I was sitting next to Mick and I went, great. It's someone I know and love. And then I looked across at the other one and I didn't have my glasses. It said Max someone. And I went, Max? Who's famous?
Max Gorn?
Yeah, who's a famous
Melbourne
Max?
footballer? Max Gillies?
Yeah. And then I read it, put my glasses on, it said max capacity, 5 people per aisle.
I love that guy, Max Capacity.
G'day, Max. How are you? And anyway, so then what happened after that was Sam had got me. And when Pang gets you, it really does. You go down to one knee and you take the 8 count because it hurts. And then we had to do this thing where we had to turn around and shake the hand of the people around us. No, we had to shake the hand of someone next to you, and Mick didn't turn up because he was
with you, Dave.
Yeah, that's right. And Max Capacity didn't turn up. So I turned around and I looked at Sam, sort of, and he went, thank you very much for looking at me. I went, no, not you. The guy behind you. So Sam hit me with a knockout. Oh, mine was a gentle uppercut that wasn't as good as his.
It still got me, though, because it's in a church. But I tell you, I remember, the main thing I remember was I was starving. Because we come straight from radio, and it was like
nothing worse.
Mate, I know. I'm not a religious man, but I was sitting next to Jonathan Brown, and they did the thing with the blood of Christ. And I said to him, I whispered, I said, mate, I'm starving. Do you reckon I can go up and get a couple of biscuits? And he said, they're not biscuits. They're called wafers, and they're the body of Christ.
They make a very good.
Mate, I don't care what they're made. I don't care what they're made of. I'm starving. You know what I mean? But I think that's disrespectful. So.
You can only go if you've been confirmed too, I think. You can't. No one can just rock up.
Well, I was a confirmed guest.
No, by the Catholic
I signed
Church.
the book on the way in. What else do you want from me?
Well, we got to go, I think.
Okay. He's got nothing.
You got to go, do you? It's a podcast. Who's winding you up?
Yeah. Why don't you say you've got to go? That sounds better. I better go.
Yeah, you got to go.
Well, I actually, you know what? I love you both. I do have to go because I've got lunch. I'm having lunch with Santo Chilaro today.
Oh.
Yeah. I like to catch. It's good to catch up with Santo. Santo likes to catch up for lunch, and it reminds me that he used to be on television. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Italian? Are you eating Italian?
Oh, you have to have Chinese food for lunch, wouldn't you? Where would you? Will you go somewhere? Can you say where you're going to go?
It's Monday though. There's not a lot open, is there?
He's going to text me where it is.
Okay, it's very mysterious.
Yeah. It's probably mysterious. Yeah, no. It feels like
it's the Rooster Bar in Fairfield.
It's got a touch of Joe Pesci and Goodfellas about it. I'm going to walk in and just cop one in the back of the head. But anyway, that's fine.
Now you think you're going to be made and they'll just be all plastic on the walls. Like, oh, what?
But I'll put in a good word for you too to make sure, if you
Yeah, we love Sano.
He hasn't read my script. He hasn't returned my calls, and I'm a bit worried about. As I said the other day, I'm a bit worried about have you been paying attention? I haven't got the call yet, and
well, it's not on TV yet though.
Well, it is fairly
Maybe
soon.
it's back. It's back next week. Maybe I won't mention you. I don't really, remember. I don't want to bring
Yeah,
the
it could
whole
be
thing
awkward.
down.
Bit
Sounds
awkward.
like you're on the outs. O'Neill.
Oh, I'm on the way out. Yeah.
And O'Neill, have you ever been on? Have you been paying attention?
Yeah, once.
He filled in for you.
Once.
You filled in for Pang,
Once.
didn't you?
Well, if you've been on once, it must have gone well.
I regret going through Tom Gleisner's wallet in the green room. I did eat a lot of the food, actually. Now I'm thinking of it.
Make hay.
Well, all right. Oh, yeah, sorry. I'll do this for the podcast. Hey, listen, guys, I got to go.
Yeah, all right, see ya.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate your help, Sam.
See ya.
All right, then.
Sam Pang, what a funny man. Okay, we should have some thinking music. Why don't we play that scene from Takeaway? I think it's on Stan or
Yeah, I think we should.
Netflix.
I mean, the other options are the theme from Rush.
Oh, the Gold Rush show.
Brian
May. And his orchestra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other, or something, I know it's the American Gold Rush, but the Paint Your Wagon,
Oh, yeah, wow.
because there's a song in there where Clint Eastwood sings I Talk to the Trees.
Oh, wow. Bizarre.
I mean, here's a guy who normally carries a Magnum. You feel lucky punk?
Lucky punk.
Yeah, well, I don't, because you talk to the trees. I talk to the trees, but they don't listen to me.
Well, that would be good. But, I could get some money if we play Takeaway. So let's play that. I could get
No,
royalties.
I would love to hear. We've never done this where we play our own stuff.
I'm not in it. I just wrote it with Mark O'Toole. So I remember
Oh,
writing.
I was takeaway. Oh, I'm getting mixed up with a nugget.
No, I was in the Nugget.
Sorry, I didn't
Anyway,
listen properly. Okay.
I mean, I'm not in this scene. I'm in Takeaway, but I'm not in this scene.
Okay.
So
No,
this
perfect.
is how fish and chips started, we believe. This is how Takeaway was invented.
Love it.
All right, here we go.
Innkeeper, what fare can you offer a hungry traveller on this most unsavoury of evenings, hmm?
Well, sir, I can offer you an excellent mutton pie and carrots, and there's some corned beef and cabbage, and finally some fish, what I caught down the bay this very morning, served atop a bed of chippered fried potatoes.
Oh, splendid. I think I will dine upon the fish. Well, show me to my table and bring me a jug of ale, innkeeper.
There be no tables, sir. My inn is full.
No room, say? Sir, hand me your gazette. Innkeeper, I put it to you that you cook my serve of fish and chippered potatoes, and that you then wrap them tightly in this paper, so that I may take my evening repast from this place of misery and consume them contentedly elsewhere.
So, sir wishes to take the food away?
Take away. Yes, indeed.
Oh, hilarious. That movie should have done better.
It should have done. Well,
No,
I must admit.
The ending was bad.
Was it? I didn't. Yeah. You need another draft maybe on the script.
I think so. Well, in the end, what happens, our idea was that, okay, for people who haven't seen it, which is 99% of you, there's two fish and chip shops next door to each other.
Yeah.
You've got Vince Colosimo running one. You've got Stephen Curry running one.
Nice.
And then a Burgies franchise opens up, which is like McDonald's or Hungry Jack's.
Right. So they get together.
Yes.
Yeah, like a cartel.
Yes.
In a way.
And then to get rid of the Burgies, they try everything. And in there, and their mate, the tow truck driver, just hooks up his tow truck to the shop and tows it away.
Oh, fantastic.
No, but it didn't work.
You know what you needed? Love interest or some sort of. And did you learn anything?
Yeah, I learned that those big things, either need a lot of money to make them work or they won't work.
Yeah, you needed like a little story that came to, like they ended up, he met a girl or something.
Yeah.
They both, there needs to be a journey of character. They both fight the demon.
Where
and
were
they learn
you
something.
20 years ago when we did it?
I know.
I just remember Eric Banner reading the script going, that won't work. Oh, Eric, what would you know?
Yeah. Well,
He went off to Hollywood.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
so...
Ants, I know what this is.
Oh, well, I'll have a crack. I would say dim sims were developed in the Gold Rush. Did I steal your thunder?
No.
Oh, okay.
Here's your problem. If you find gold, what do you do with it? You got nowhere to hide it. You can go back to your tent and had a
Well, word gets around.
word gets around.
Hey, Larry's found some gold.
Here's what they did.
What?
They hid their diamonds, not their diamonds, their gold, in their dim sims.
No.
Well, what a great way to get them out.
Is this true? Wow, that's amazing.
I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's true.
You're guessing this is it.
I'm guessing. Don't you think that's amazing?
So the Chinese
prospectors had their gold stash, right?
Because you'd be sus on the Aussies. I'm going to just go buy 8 dim sims, guys. Hang on a minute. What's he doing?
I reckon they used it as some sort of
That's great.
way to pass it between them.
Well,
Here's those dim sims you wanted, Dave.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, and inside is the gold.
Because there would have been a lot of thieving because there were desperate men and women.
Yes.
Great. I hope that's the answer. What is the answer, Sam?
Chinese miners arrived on the Australian gold fields around 1854. Elderly Chinese gold miners were left over from the goldfields days and they didn't want to go home to China and were too old for heavy works. Australia's dim sim story began in 1942. William Chen Wing Young, the father of Australian celebrity chef, author and TV personality Elizabeth Chong, when Chen realised that a number of elderly Chinese men who had come to Australia to work during the gold rush of the 1800s were left jobless. Chen came up with the idea that if he could mass-produce sui my form of dim sum, these men could sell them on trucks and earn a living. Sorry, my was too much for Australians to pronounce back in the 1940s, so he called it Didn't Seem. Dim sim became the name as it was the same as dim sum but in a different Canton dialect.
Oh,
Yeah, you're well done.
I wish you were right, though. Yours was better. Yours would make a good movie.
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Well, that's
The
maybe,
dim sim smuggling
maybe
gold
you should have
movie.
finished your movie like that.
Or, no, we do a new movie and get Sam Pang involved. Lead. Imagine Sam Pang on the gold fields. Wearing one of those hats.
Yeah. What would he be? He'd be
He'd be like in charge.
would he be a good guy or a bad guy?
Both. I reckon both. And
Up
I
to
reckon,
no, up to no good.
and I reckon he'd be in charge. He'd be one of the guys in charge who's slightly dodgy. And he'd be hitting them with zingers. We'd have to have some zingers in there. And then John Safran could play the Jewish shopkeeper. Don't come around here again, Sam Pang.
Who would you be?
I'd just be I reckon I'd be the Aussie, the fat cook. Out the back.
Yeah, right.
You'd be a good policeman or mayor. Or
Could I be Uncle Arthur, maybe?
yeah.
Uncle Arthur back in the... I'm getting some gold and I'm pointing it away and hello to Sam Pang there. That's just... I'm pulling out my bring out your dead. Okay. Do you know that great Sandling routine about digging through to China?
No?
Because when he was growing up,
Yeah, you always thought you could dig to China.
Yeah, and the guy next door was doing it, and he was digging away, and then during the night he'd go over there and throw a few dim sims and egg rolls into the hole and say, "You're getting close. You're getting close."
Fantastic.